Sound test mic, sound check. Can you hear my voice? Anyone there who is currently watching, can you please tell me if my voice is alright and the video is it okay? So it's 6:22 p.m. here, so we will be starting at 7:30 p.m. Okay, so you still have a little more than an hour to take a rest, to eat. It's up to you to take work. Okay, so I'm just too early tonight because I thought we have an appointment, but it was cancelled. Sound test mic. Sound test mic. Can you please confirm if my voice, if the volume, if the sound is okay, if the video is okay? Can you see my screen? So right now I'm showing the interface, right? Or not the interface, but the home view. Alright, so everything is okay. So thanks Near Hindi and Zuzong. Okay? So we'll be talking about the basics. Okay, so don't expect advanced topic or advanced modeling. So this is just a basic training to those who will be starting Revit. Okay? I'm very early right now. So when this video uploaded to my YouTube channel, you can just forward to the topic. So 7:30 we are going to start. Whether you are only one or two people watching, so we are going to start our training. Hey Charu, what do you mean not audible, sir? What do you mean not audible? No, I'm not going to start yet. Our time is we are going to start in about an hour. Okay, so I'm just early, but we are going to start after an hour. So 7:30 here in New Zealand. So right now it's only 6:26 p.m. So we still have 1 hour left to wait for others to come. Hello, Tura. How are you? I'm good. Thank you for asking. So all of you, I hope all of you guys are okay, doing okay. I know it's not that good what is happening at the moment. So we have a pandemic, but I still hope that you guys are working just fine. Yeah, sure. See you in an hour, Mahesh. So we're going to start 7:30, right? So I'm just early right now because my appointment got canceled. And also I'm creating the folder where you can download the exercise file. Okay, so just give me a moment. I'm creating it. All right, so to those of you who are already there, can you please go to this link and let me know if you are able to download the exercise file. All right. Okay, so there's the link. This is where I save our first exercise file. Could you please tell me if you are able to open the Google Drive and then download the file and are able to open that in your Revit project. But don't worry, do not open yet. Okay, so just tell me if you are able to open that folder and then download the exercise file.
Halika na. Sumapalo. Ha? Asin tuwalya niya. Tuwalya mo ako ang tuwalya, be. Kumain. Okay. Sweat. Okay, go.
Drink first. I'm thirsty.
Sige, minum ka dyan.
Pogi, ligo.
Alright, so just please tell me if you are able to download the file in that Google Drive. Again, just to let you know, guys, that I'm just early right now, but we are still going to start in an hour. So we're going to follow the schedule. So the schedule is 7:30 p.m. here in New Zealand. So you better check the schedule. Okay, so it's 6:30 now here. So in an hour we're going to start. So I'm just early because I canceled my appointment. Hello, Liniel de Jesus. Hi, sir, from Philippines here. Hello. Thanks, guys. You're able to attend this live stream. So thank you for the 14 viewers right now, and thank you for the 1 like. Really appreciate you guys coming early because I believe in Philippines it's still 2:30, so it's the time where people there are still working. I think same in India, it's the time where you guys are still working in the office. Okay, so are you guys able to download the file from the Google Drive that I have sent? So could you please guys check our live chat? I have sent there the Google Drive, the link where I have saved the file. All right, good. Thanks, Lineal, for informing me. Okay, so you can still eat, you can still go out, you can still sleep. Okay, you can still work because we're going to start in an hour. Okay. Hey, near Hindi, what do you mean no? What do you mean no? From Deepak Kumar Sahu, this is nice opportunity for us who are love to learn Revit MEP but still waiting for balance part of structural 2020. What do you mean balance part? Deepak. Where to download? Near Hindi, can you please check the chat? I'm just going to send again the link. Okay, so here's the link so you can download the file here. Okay, so just to let you know, guys, here we are going to discuss the Revit MEP, but we're not going to move into too much detail in modeling, just the basic things, because this is primarily for those who will be starting to use Revit and using Revit and Revit MEP. Okay, so we're not going to do some fancy modeling here. Again, you still have time to do some other stuff like eating, sleeping, working. You can go out because we'll be starting 7:30 p.m. All right, so it's only 7:35, so you still have 55 minutes. So thank you for the 11 viewers and thank you for the 3 likes. Appreciate that. right, so good to hear that, Mir, that you're able now to download the file. So I really appreciate, guys, that you are also early, just like me. But we need to follow the schedule, which is 7:30 p.m.
Come here, come here.
Oh, so you are from Israel, near? So it's 9:37 a.m. there. Okay, so there's a difference of 10, 11, 12, 13, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it 9 hours? I think there's difference of 9 hours. Hello, Roman Baral. Sir, can I ask something? I am from Nepal. Sure, you can ask. What do you want to ask?
No, I don't want.
Hello, Ana Luzette Lazalareza. Good evening. Good evening here, madam. Maybe good afternoon there, madam. So again, we're going to stick in our schedule. So we'll be starting 7:30 p.m. So right now it's 6:40 p.m. Okay, so we have a little under 1 hour. So you can still eat, you can still sleep, go out, okay, do some stuff, do your work. So 7:30 we'll be starting our basic training. All right, so currently we have 9 viewers. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the 3 likes. Oh, sorry, Roman Baral, I don't know what is this software or extension. Can we download the Grytech Power Pack or Navigate Rebar extension? I really don't have any idea, Roman Baral. Okay, see you later, Anna. So out of 68 as per your playlist, we have received 39 in structural. I think the first series of Revit structure videos that I have done is 2020. I think I also have 2019, and then the recent Revit structure that I have is 39. So most of the topics for Revit 2020 structural, 2021 structural is already done. Just a few more documentation which is I already discussed in my other playlist, but we're going to continue that one as well. Don't worry, Deepak. Yeah, sorry, Roman Baral. I really have no idea how to use that plugin. Because to be honest, what I am doing in my current job is we're a mechanical, electrical, hydraulics, plumbing company. So I'm doing right now hydraulics, like plumbing, sanitary, domestic water piping. So we do not do structural modeling or project in our company. Okay, but the reason why I'm sharing my Revit structure is for you guys to be able to have an idea how the Revit structure works, but I actually not that good when it comes to Revit structure. Yeah, it's all good, no worries. So Grytech Power Pack, what's that? Let me check my Google. So Grytech Power Pack. Alright, so I can see it now. Oops, I think there's a problem in their website because I can't go to the link that they are giving. So this is the one that you are talking about, right? So if I click this link, so it's not actually opening. Okay, so we can't do anything about this one. Maybe they are, oh, it says here they are doing some maintenance. Yeah. So to those of you who just arrived, so this is the link for the training material. You can download the training material in this Google Drive. Hey, that's good. How are you, Masao? Masao, you're online. So we are. Okay, so 6:45 p.m. We are going to start 7:30 p.m. Okay, we still have 45 minutes. Yeah, so we still have 45 minutes. So you can go out, you can eat, you can sleep, whatever you would like to do. So thank you for the 10 viewers and thank you for the 3 likes. So do you have any questions? You can put your questions there. So if I can answer your question, I will answer it. If I do not know what's the answer, then I'll just say I don't know. Okay, you can put a question there if you want. If you have any questions regarding Revit, if I know, I'm going to answer it while we are waiting for 7:30 p.m. As long as I know the answer. Okay, so we have a poning question here from Ana Luzette Lareza. It's actually not a poning question, it's just a chat. Just kidding. Okay, so sir, do you still use AutoCAD? No? How about for small projects? Do you use Revit also? Yes. Okay. So the only reason why we are using CAD, it's because it's an older project. Okay, so we do it for our older project. So if the project was already started in Revit, in AutoCAD, like for example in 2017, that's the project. So we use AutoCAD, so we do not convert that to Revit. So that's the only time we use AutoCAD for older projects. But for newer projects, whether it be small or any size of project, so we use Revit. Okay, so LOL. So AutoCAD is for older people like me. Now, AutoCAD, like what I've said, if the project it was done in AutoCAD, so we do it in AutoCAD. It actually depends on the client. So if they prefer AutoCAD, then we do it in AutoCAD. So even if the project is new, if they prefer AutoCAD, then we do it in AutoCAD. But most of the time, the clients prefer to use Revit. So most of our newer projects, or all of the projects, new ones, are done in Revit. I think it would be better if your son will gonna have a background in AutoCAD, because for me, in my opinion, AutoCAD and Revit can work hand in hand. So just in case, let's say, for example, your son already did some details in AutoCAD. So when they migrate to Revit, so in case he wants to use that details that was done in AutoCAD, he can just import that in Revit. Okay, just like doing uh, drafting view. So drafting view is for detailing, so you don't need to create 3D model for drafting view. So if you already have an AutoCAD file, why not just import that in Revit and then use that detail? Okay, so if you are really good in AutoCAD, so you must be good in doing 2D details. So sometimes our clients prefer details in AutoCAD, because you can do a lot in AutoCAD when it comes to 2D drawing. So yeah, it's also a good idea if you have a background in AutoCAD, but not necessarily a requirements. Like you need to learn AutoCAD before you learn Revit. So it's not like that. But what I'm saying is they can work hand in hand at some point of the project. So thank you for those who are still staying, even though we are going to start at 7:30 p.m. So thank you for the 7 viewers, and thank you for the 3 likes. You're welcome, ma'am. Also, AutoCAD and Revit are both from Autodesk. Yes, so they are both from Autodesk. No, guys, you shouldn't be obliged yourself to like our live stream. So that's all right. I'm used to that. As long as you guys are watching and learning in my videos, it's okay even if you don't like our live stream. Thanks, Mom Anna. All right, so it's 7 p.m. here. So we are waiting for 30 minutes more to start.
Let us take a break.
Ken, ha?
Hello, thank you. Thank you po, Sir Re Naranjo. Thank you po, sir. Laking tulong po nito sa amin. So, thank you rin po sa inyo kasi nanonood po kayo ng video ko. Okay? So, to those who don't understand what I just said, I said that I also would like to thank you guys for watching my video. Okay? That's all. Because Re Naranjo said thank you because this is a big help for us. So I also thank you guys. So I did. Good morning, sir. Do you know any help me to get a sample for Revit Mep Electrical 2020? Please, I see all your video. You can just keep on following this live stream, this series of live stream that we are going to do for Revit Mep, because I'll be giving you the exercise files here as we move on. Okay, so I'm not gonna give that in advance. If you want to have the advanced files, you can go to my website and then you can purchase all the exercise files there. But I know most of you all of you wants free, because nowadays people are like that, so they want it free. Okay, so they always ask for a free one. So if that's the case, so you just need to continue following and watching our live stream, this live stream about Revit Mep, because every session I will be giving the exercise files, and after that session I'm going to delete that Google Drive. Okay, so only those who attended the training will be able to get that exercise file. Okay, but just in case you want to pay, you can go to my YouTube channel, and then you can check out there the video description, and on that video description there's a link there. You just click that one, you'll be going to the website. You'll be able to avail there all the exercise files. Okay, but you need to pay for that one. Okay, this is because this one is not a joke, right? So so I also need to pay up my subscription. Okay, all right, so just follow my live stream. Do I look like bad to you guys because I'm asking for payment for all the exercises file? Hopefully not. So you just need to understand me that education, sometimes it's not free. So sometimes you also need to pay for your education, right? And it's not a joke for me to create a content and to think what to say, you know. But this one is free, so you just need to follow this series of live stream. So I'll be giving all the exercises files, so hopefully you are still friend with me. Okay, so we still have 15 minutes more. Alright, so this is where you are going to download the exercise file. Like what I've said, you just need to go to my website and then you look for the video description there. Okay, so I'll just send you the link then. One moment. So if you want to check out how much that one, you can go to this website. There you go, that one. Okay, so guys, just let me know if you are able to download the exercise file from the Google Drive that I have sent. Okay, so there's an exercise file inside that folder. It contains one file. It's actually the sample file of the Revit when you install the Revit, but it's already set up. Okay, you can actually use the exercise file or the default exercise file of the Revit when you install it, because we're not yet going to do some modeling. So we're just going to familiarize ourselves to the Revit user interface. All right. Okay, so it's 7:18 right now, so we still have 12 minutes more before we start. So thank you for the 9 viewers right now, and thanks for the 5 likes. I really appreciate you guys all coming here in our live stream. So first, shout out to Near Hindi, Song, Mahesh Odedara, Charutek, Tura, Mahesh Odedara, Liniel De Jesus, who else? Deepak Kumar Sahu, Roman Baral, Ana Lizette Lareza, who else? Masao Antale. Okay, so pardon me if I can't pronounce your name correctly. Who else? Re Naranjo, Toy did. Shout out, Re Naranjo. Okay, Ren Aranjo, I'm planning to take ACP exam. Sir, I'm currently working on my project. Well, that's good. If you're going to, or if you're planning to take the exam, the certified professional, based on experience, I would advise you to take the examination in a training center, okay? So that the examination that most likely, or there's a big chance that the examination that they will be giving to you is the same video that I'm showing in my YouTube channel, that type of exam, wherein you will be opening a project and then you will be doing some task. But based on experience, hearing from my other subscribers who took the examination recently, if you take the examination online, meaning you just stay at home or you just stay in your office, you will do the examination online. So what will happen is the type of examination, big chance that you will be getting a multiple choice type of examination wherein you will not be able to open the Revit. Okay, but it's a multiple choice. It's really difficult. And most of the subscribers that have messaged me, they all failed the examination. Okay, that's what I can say. Okay, so again, this is the, oh, wait a minute. Exercise folder. Exercise folder, get shareable link. Copy. Okay, so again, this is the link wherein you can download the exercise file for Revit MEP. That's the Google Drive. I have saved the file there. Okay, so we can start now. Okay, so can we start now? So it's already 7. Okay, so 1 minute more. Okay, so it's already 7:30. So we are now going to start. So again, thank you for the viewers. So we have 14 viewers. So thank you for the for having your time. I know it's already about your office time right now. Some of you are having their lunch, some of you are having your office work, but thank you guys for coming in anyway, and thank you for the 7 likes. And okay, so before we start, so kindly please download the file from the Google Drive that I have sent on the live chat. Okay, so if you already downloaded that file, so let's now start. Okay, so did you already open your Revit 2021 or whatever software version that you are using? So right now we are using, or in my case, I'm using Revit 2021. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to discuss, like what you have seen on in this live stream, the title is about the user interface. So we are going to familiarize ourselves on that one. Right. So let me just see. Okay, so I think, all right, good. All right, so as you can see here in my window, can you see my window, guys? So hopefully you are able to see my window clearly. So right now I'm showing the Autodesk Revit 2021 home view. Okay, so that's the home view. No sir, not it's not Judel Chanko. So tomorrow not available, Thursday no, Friday no. So most likely the next live stream will gonna be same time, Tuesday. Okay, so I'm just going to announce it. So just check out my channel. All right, but definitely not daily because there's a conflict. Okay. Okay, so let us now move on to our topic. Okay, so like what I have said earlier, so right now I'm showing you the home view. Okay, so this is last time we called this recent files window, because as you can see here, there is the recent files window or the recent files title. So they actually changed the this view, because if you're going to use lower version, it's a bit different from a lower version, but it's actually just the same. So I just call this recent files window. All right, so as you can see, there's the home, so telling you that you are on the home view. So here in the recent files window, you can see the recently opened projects. Okay, so we call it projects. So in AutoCAD we call it what? So we call it drawing. Okay, so here in Revit we call it project. So these are recently opened project, and then these are the recently open or recently created families. Okay, so in AutoCAD we have blocks. So here in Revit we have family. Okay, so in AutoCAD we have drawing. So here in Revit we call it project, Revit project. Okay, so in AutoCAD we have block. So in Revit we have template, so we have Revit template, or I mean family. Okay, so template is different. Okay, so what are the different file extension of Revit? So as you can see, if I'm going to hover my pointer to one of the model here, like for example this one, You can see there the extension file. If you check out the file name, so there's the .rvt. Okay, so .rvt, that is the extension file of Revit project. Okay, so whenever you see that extension file .rvt, so that is a Revit project. Okay, so in AutoCAD, it's DWG, right? So in Revit, it's .rvt. So hope that one is clear. Okay. Right. Now, the next thing that we are going to talk about is the family. Okay, so if I'm going to hover my pointer to the family, so what you can see. Okay, so what's the extension file of your family? So if you say RFA, you are 100% correct. So the extension file for the family is RFA. So that is Revit family. Okay, so in AutoCAD, we have, okay, the block there is also DWG. Okay, yeah. So in Revit, so we have family. So that is RFA. Okay, and there are also other extension file in Revit, which is what I'm going to show you. Like, for example, if I'm going to, oh no, I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to show it to you later on. So the first extension file that we have is RVT, that is for Revit project, and then RFA for Revit family. Okay, so now, if this is the first time that you open your Revit, so I think it would be better if you click this icon here, which is the home. Okay, as you can see, there's also D, right? Okay, you can also press Ctrl D. So here you can see a blank area here if you're going to click that one, the home one. And then if you're going to click this button here, this R, you can restore down, you can minimize, or you can even close the window here. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click this arrow here. So it's the same as clicking the home here, right? So that just in case you accidentally click that, because you know, as a beginner, sometimes we are accidentally clicking buttons. So just in case you encounter this window, so don't worry about that. So you just need to click this button here. Okay, so that is what you do. So this is our home. So the Revit home, this is where you go to access and manage the information related to our model. Okay, and aside from that, okay, so these are the usual buttons that you can see here, which is the open, creating a new one, opening a family, creating a new family. So as you can see, this relates to the model. So this one relates to the family. And then we also have here the recent files. And then we also have here the BIM 360. So if your company has an access to BIM 360, so Revit Home displays only the BIM 360 projects. So this is a cloud-based platform from Autodesk. So this is where you do your collaboration inside the BIM 360. So this is actually what we are using in our company. So we're using BIM 360. So we have projects saved on the cloud. So we are using the BIM 360. So it contains the models that match to the release of Revit you are running. So for example, if you launch Revit 2020, you will see the BIM 360 projects in 2020. So if it is 2021 projects, if you launch your Revit 2021, just like mine, you will see the BIM 360 projects, which is Revit 2021 cloud models. Okay, so models created in a previous release of Revit are not displayed in the project. So if you decide, so you can upgrade these projects and models to a more recent release of Revit. And another thing that you should understand is that in Revit, if you open a lower version to a higher version, so let's say, for example, I'm using Revit 2020, and then you open that in 2021, so what will happen is Revit will convert that 2020 to 2021 version, okay, to open that file. And then once you save that file, it will gonna be Revit 2021. Now the problem here is if you're going to open again your file in 2020, you will not be able to do that. So remember, low version of Revit cannot open a higher version of Revit. Like for example, your file is 2021, and if you try to open that in 2020, you will not be able to do that. Okay, so just remember that. So there's no way for you to open a lower version of, a higher version of Revit to a lower version of Revit. Okay, but you can always upgrade your file to a higher version. So just be careful of opening file. So whenever you open the file, Revit will tell you if that one is a lower version, because there is a dialog box that will be popping up when you open a file that is a lower version. Okay, yeah, so I think it would be better if we just open a project. So if you already downloaded the file that I have given you, so let's try to open that. Okay, and then we are going to explore the user interface of Revit. Okay, so just like in Office software, if you want to open a project, you can also press Ctrl O, or you can also select open here to open a new project, right? So you can Ctrl O, and then you can see your window, this one. Okay, right? So just open the project, so click that one. Okay, so select that one, and then after that you go to the window. So from the window you just need to go to the project or to the file that I have sent you. Okay, and then I want you to open that file. All right, so let me just fix my file here. Okay, so you open up your file, guys. Okay, so let's explore the user interface. MP. Okay, so this is the one that we'll be opening. So do you have this? I think this is the one that I have sent you, the MRMEP_UI. Okay, so let's open up this one. Okay, so let's open up that one. So select that and select here, open. Okay, and then you can also see here the version that you're opening. So that file is actually Revit 2010. Okay, so what will happen is if I select here open, you can see that dialog box. So your model is being upgraded, right? Okay. Okay, so while my project is opening, I need to send a file to Boris. Okay, so just give me a moment, Boris. I'm going to send you the file. Okay, so sorry guys, because I can't read all the chat. So I always read that late because as you can see, I am discussing right now. So please apology if I cannot read right away your chat, or if it is too late because I'm doing a discussion. Okay, so let me just send you the file, Boris. Just give me a sec. Okay. So where's that file? Okay, so I already sent you Boris the file. So please have a look on your email. So just refresh it a couple of times, so you should be able to see now the email. So shout out to Alvin Manuel. So thank you for visiting my channel. John JP, love it. I'll get back to my deadline. Thanks again. You're welcome. Thanks for visiting. Herman Sanchez. Hi Rich, magandang gabi po. You're avid learner here. God bless. So God bless to you. Thank you sa pagpunta sa channel ko. Okay, so, all right, so na-read ko na, I already read all the live chat. So I'm now going back to the discussion. So again, sorry if I'll be reading your chat a little bit late because I'm doing a discussion, okay? All right, so just in case you encounter this message, it says that the family is connected in a network and can no longer keep the connectivity. Disconnect the family from the network. Disconnect, okay? Otherwise, you will not be able to open the project. Okay, so just select disconnect. Okay, select disconnect. Okay, so this is now our project. So as you can see, this is a very familiar model, right? This is a very familiar model that you are seeing right now. So this is the model from Autodesk. So that's why earlier I have said that even if you do not have this exercise file, you can still follow the exercise that we are going to do. Okay, because if you already install properly your Revit, you should be able to have an access to this exercise file. Okay, so to do that, okay, so just in case you want to access the sample file in your software in Revit, so what you can do is you can go to the file here. So there's the file. Just go to the file and then you can go to this arrow here. You need to click that to expand the open options here. And then after that, you will now be able to see there the sample files. Okay, so you click the sample files. And then after that, you should be able to see the dialog box there, which is this one. So these are the sample files that you can use in Revit. So in our case, the one that you will be opening here is RME Advanced Sample Project. So RME stands for Revit Mechanical Electrical Plumbing. It's like Revit MEP, okay? So RAC stands for Revit Architecture. So RST, that's your Revit Structure, okay? So one thing that I would like to you guys to notice is the file subtype here, okay? So as you can see, these are the type of files that you can open right now. So you can open RBT file, which is Revit Project, and RFA file, which is Revit Family file, okay? So just in case you do not have this exercise file, although I already chat it on our live chat, you can go here and then you can open RME Advanced Sample Project. So it's just the same. So we're not going to do any modeling because we're going to explore first the user interface. Let us try to familiarize ourselves, okay? So we're not going to dive into the world of modeling in Revit, okay? So just imagine you're just beginner, okay? So we do baby steps, right? You have to learn to crawl before you learn to walk. So it's like a song, right? Okay, so right after you open your file, if this is the first time you open your file, so right after you install Revit, I think it would be better for us to have a unity on the colors that we will be using, okay? As you will notice, if I'm going to hover my pointer, so this is my cursor, right? You see this one? Okay, if I'm going to hover my pointer to one of the element, like for example, to this equipment, okay? So this is a cooling tower, so this is a mechanical equipment. If you will notice, if I'm going to hover my pointer, the color turns to green, right? So maybe some of you, the color is blue. Am I correct? Can you just put it on the live chat? What color is yours whenever you hover? Do not click, okay? So do not pick. So I just want you to hover your pointer like that. And then you can see that it will change the color somehow. So in my case, it's colored green. So how about you guys? Can you put it on the chat, please? Am I speaking to someone? Okay, see, it's colored green, right? Okay. All right. So as you can see, if I'm going to hover my pointer, it's green. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. So thanks, Miss Anna. So some of you, the color is blue, right? Because that is it's not actually a color blue. Okay, so it's like a color blue. Okay, so it's not exactly the color blue. But in my case, it's color green, right? But if I'm going to click that, I'm going to click now. So it will turn to what? Colored red. So how about you guys? If you're going to click your model, so what's the color of that? Okay, can you share it with me? Please. Okay. Okay, so what's the color? Okay, it's still blue. That's correct. Okay, that's good. Okay, so thanks, nothing else matter. Ren, Aranjo, and Anna, and German. Yeah, it's still blue. So that's the thing, right? So in my case, in my work, so this is what I do. So I customize the color so that I know that the model is being highlighted and I know if the model is being selected. Okay, so for Unity, so this is what we do. So what we are going to do is, okay, so what we are going to do is, okay, you see this one? If you're going to click outside, you click outside, you will notice your object will gonna be deselected. So that is one way of deselecting your object in Revit. So you just need to click outside, just left click. You see this one? So this is left click. Okay, so the button that you use to select the object, that's your left click to select it. And then after that, if you click outside, you will be able to deselect the object. So that is one way of deselecting your object. Okay, it's actually a fast way of deselecting the object. Now, so this is what I want you to do, guys. So I want you to go to the file. Okay, so there's the file menu. So you click that one. By the way, you see that blinking that one? Yeah, it's still blue. Sipno and Kosi, yeah, it's still blue. So that is what we are going to give solution. Okay, so we're going to customize it. Okay, so by the way, you see that blinking cursor that I have? I actually learned that from my first job in, actually it's my third job in Philippines, because one time in my life I became a instructor in the Philippines. So this company is the one that gave me a chance to learn AutoCAD and Revit. Okay, so I'm really proud to be part of that institution. The name of that institution is MicroCAD. Oh, by the way, shout out to street piano and guitar player. He is actually my friend. Okay, so he is doing some tutorial in piano and guitar. So you can actually go to his channel, to street piano and guitar player, and then you'll be able to learn the basic of piano and guitar with chords. Okay, now going back. Okay, thanks for visiting, Sir SPG. Now going back, that blinking pointer, I actually learned that in MicroCAD Technologies. So if you are familiar in MicroCAD Technologies, so this is the #1 training center in the Philippines. If you're going to type MicroCAD in your Google, so they are actually the one that is offering not only Autodesk software to learn from, but also Adobe products, STAAD, and other engineering software. Okay, so they are the pioneer of AutoCAD training in Philippines. So that is where I learned that blinking pointer, because I believe this is a very useful tool so that the students will be able to see where is my pointer located. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so let's go to the file, guys. And after that, I want you to go to options. So we are going to customize our selection. Okay, so go to the options, and then, okay, so you see this option, this general here, you can see the general options that we can do here in our notification. So usually here in my notification, I do not want to be notified to save the file. But in your case, since you're just beginner, so I want you to just select like 30 minutes or even 15 minutes, because sometimes the student, they tend to model a lot, and to the point they forgot to save the file, which is actually a problem because sometimes our computer crashed, so you are not able to save your file. So if you want to have a notification every 15 minutes or 30 minutes, this is where you go. So you go to the options and then general, and then it's up to you how you want to be notified. Okay, so if it is 30 minutes, 15 minutes, it's up to you. In my case, I always select that no reminders. Why? Because I always save my project. Okay, so it's already hard-coded in my mind that I always save my file. Okay, but since you're just beginners in Revit, so maybe you can put a save reminder interval. But again, it's up to you. It's a preference. And also the other one here is synchronize with central reminder interval. So this is very important. So if you guys are working in an environment where your project is being shared to another user or to other designers in your company, so make sure you have a reminder interval to synchronize your project to the central. But don't worry, don't be confused. We're not going to discuss this one. We have a separate topic for collaboration projects. So we have a separate topic for that one. Okay, so thanks Albin Manuel, another friend of mine, for visiting my channel. Now, let's go to the user interface. This is the reason. Okay, so user interface here. So you have an option, the keyboard shortcut, double click options. Okay, so when you double click, when you click that one, okay, so you have an option here, because there are some instances when users are accidentally double clicking a model. So when they double click a model, what happens is by default it will open up the family. So this one tends to confuse a new user. Okay, so that's why you will notice I selected there do nothing. Okay, so meaning, so just in case I accidentally double click an element, it will do nothing, because this is what will happen if this one is set to by default edit family. I think by default is edit family, right? Can you guys confirm this? I think by default it's edit family. So I'm going to select edit family, and then I'm going to select here OK, and then I'm going to select here OK. Okay, so don't be lost. I'm just doing it very slowly. So I'm going to select here OK. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in one part of the object. Okay, to zoom in, you just need to use your scroll button, this one. Okay, so if you are using AutoCAD, so you can, you know that this one is zoom in, zoom out, right? If you scroll the middle button. So that is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in to this area here. Okay, and then take a look. If I'm going to, yes, thank you for that, Ma'am Anna. So if I'm going to double click accidentally, for example, you do not know what happened. You didn't know that you already double click a family. So if I double click this one, so what happens is it will open another window, right? So if you are just a beginner, it will just confuse you. Okay, so what happened? Where is my model? So usually that is what is happening right now, right? So since you're just beginner, you will be confused. Hey, why is it like this? Why is it? Where is my model? What happened? Okay, so what happened is you double click a family. So you will notice you are now on this window. Okay, oops, sorry. What? Okay, so as you can see, you just open a family. So the family is M plane recessed lighting fixture .rfa. Okay, so keep in mind when you see RFA, that is Revit family. So you are not in a Revit project anymore. Okay, so that's why if you are just a beginner, unless you know what you are doing, so I guess it would be better to change that option to do nothing. So anyway, just in case you open accidentally a family, so what you see, don't panic. What you do is just close it. So this is the one. Okay, so this is the window. Because the other window that we have here, okay, so this is the project. And then the other one is the one that you just opened. Okay, so you just need to close that. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, just relax. You just need to select no. Okay, so do not do that. Do not save it. Okay, because we're just beginner. Okay, so we're just beginner. So that's why. So what I do is I go to the file, I go to the options, and then I go to the user interface. Okay, so you go to the user interface, and then after that you go to the double click options, and then you on the family here just select do nothing. Okay, so do nothing. But then again, if you do not want, it's okay as long as you know what you are doing. Okay, so just do nothing. Alright, so this is what happens when you double click. So when you double click on a sketch element, it will edit the element. If you double click inside views schedules on the sheet, it will activate the view, etc., etc. Okay, so my main point here is the family, because sometimes as a starter, sometimes they mess up the family because they don't know what they're doing. Okay, so that's the thing. They actually don't know what they're doing. Still they try to edit the family. Okay, so just in case you accidentally open a family, just close it. Don't save it. Okay, or just select do nothing. All right, so let's close this one. So let's move on. Okay, so let's go to the graphics. So this is what we are going to do. So probably on your window right now, you can see blue here. Blue, it's not actually a blue, right? There's a number. That's the exact color of that color. So it's not blue. Is it blue? Is it written blue? I think there's a color, three digits, and then 3 digits. So that's the exact color. Okay. So I want you to change your selection color to red. Okay, so I want you to change the pre-selection color to green so that all of us the same. So this is what happens. So every time you hover your pointer over the element, the color will change to green so that it will tell you that, oh, the object is being highlighted. Okay, and then if you click the object, so it becomes red. Okay, because that is our selection color. Okay, so basically, I'm just showing you guys this option here. Oh, so it's blue. So thank you for that, German Sanchez. So, because I think in lower version, it's not exactly a color blue one. It's different color. Yeah, I mean, it looks blue, but there's a digit numbers there. But anyway, for uniformity, can you just please change that to red and green so that all of us have the same? Okay, my point is you can go to the options if you want to customize the settings of your Revit. Okay, so let's say, for example, I'm not a structural guy. I do not want to accidentally select the tools from structure. Okay, or let's say I'm not architectural. Okay, I do not want to select tools from the architectural side. I only want to see Revit. Okay, Revit MEP. So if that's the case, what you can do is you can go to the user interface. Okay, so you can go to the user interface, and then you see here on the right side. Okay. Okay, K. We have a separate topic for that, okay? So we have a separate topic for that. So I know what you mean. So you want to change the color of the top, okay? So we're going to talk about that one, okay? Right, so going back, so on the user interface, configure. So let's say you do not want structural, you do not want architectural. So here's your solution. So you just need to uncheck the structure tab, uncheck it, and then you can also uncheck the architecture tab. Okay. That's it. You're welcome, KKK. So we are going to talk about that one. Don't worry. So we're going to spend a lot of time on that inducting. Okay. All right. So you just uncheck the architecture structure and then select OK. Let's see what will happen. Okay. So let's select OK. And there you go. You see? I only have here systems. Okay. So systems tab, this is where you get the tools that we will be using for Revit Mep. Okay, so on that one. So you already removed the architecture and then structure, right? So hopefully you got this one, but let us just put it back again. So go to File, go to Options, go to User Interface, check the architecture, check the structure, and then select OK. Okay. Right. I'm already tired. Okay. Right. All right. So let's try to explore our user interface. Okay. So at least you know already how to change the color, right? Oh, another thing. Let's say, for example, oh, Rich, I'm used in AutoCAD. So I want the background color to be black. Okay, so I want the color to be black because color white, it's too bright for me. It's too bright for my eyes. So it's the same. You just need to go to the File tab. Just go to the File tab and then you go to the Options. And then after that, you go to Graphics. And there you go. So you have the background. So you just click the background there. Change the color from white to black. Okay, just click the black there and then select OK, then select OK, and there you go. All right, zoom out. Okay, so again, for zooming out, I'm using the scroller. Okay, this one, the middle button, right? Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. Okay. Don't be lost. So we're doing it very slow. If you want to pan your drawing, you just need to hold the middle button. Again, if you are familiar with AutoCAD, so if you want to pan your drawing, you just need to hold and drag your mouse. Okay, just like this one, hold it, and then you can drag it like that, right? Okay, you can drag it. Hold and drag. Okay. Now, okay, so after we open our project, so let's talk about this one. This portion here, this is our title bar. Okay, this one. So this is our title bar. So it says Autodesk Revit 2021. And then you can see there the name of the project. And then you can also see there the name of the view. You are always welcome, Boris. You're welcome. Okay, so this is our title bar. Okay, there's the Revit version, and then the title, and then the name of the view. Okay, yes, thanks Albin Manuel, shout out to your channel, your dog channel. Okay, so here if you have an Autodesk account, you need to sign in. So this is our info center here. Okay, if you want some help, you can just click this icon, or you can also press F1. Okay, so that's our title bar. And then for this one, if you want to go back to your recent files window, you can click that. You can click again to go back to your project. All right, so don't be lost. Okay, so don't panic. So just in case you click that one, don't worry, just click that again. Okay, now for this portion here, so this is what we call ribbon. Okay, so this is our ribbon. So this whole portion here, so this is what we call ribbon. Okay, so sorry about about this one, Boris. So we're not going to talk about any other topic because it will just confuse our other users. So you're asking for, is it possible to make airflow and water flow animation in Revit or any other? In Revit, I don't think that's possible. All right. I don't know any other software that is doing this animation, but in Revit, I don't think you can do that. All right. Now, ribbon tab. So this is ribbon tab. So this whole portion of our view here. So this one here. Okay, so this is what we call ribbon. Now this one is ribbon tab. Okay, so these are tabs. Okay, so ribbon tabs. Okay, so ribbon tab. So every ribbon tabs here corresponds to different sets of panels. So like for example, in systems tab, you can see here HVAC panel, fabrication panel, okay, PNID collaboration panel, and then we also have mechanical panel, and then we also have plumbing and piping panel. So we call this ribbon panel. Oh, just remember this one above here, this is what we call tab or ribbon tab. Okay, and then if you go here to this portion, so this is what you call ribbon panel. And every ribbon panel so corresponds to its different buttons here. Like for example, you have the duct. Okay, so the shortcut for duct, as you can see there, the shortcut is DT. Okay, so if you hover your pointer here, so there's another tool. So it's duct fitting. Okay, so if you hover your pointer here, you can see the pipe there. So the shortcut is PI. So this part of the user interface, this is what we call the ribbon panel, and then these are the buttons. And some of the buttons actually you can still expand. So like for example, the device here, if you hover your pointer here, so there's an arrow here, so that's an expanded panel. Okay, obviously if you click that, it will expand, right? So you can see here different tools or different buttons. So same with other tabs. So if I go to architecture, it also contains ribbon panels and then different buttons here. Like for example, for the wall, if you click the drop down arrow, you can see here different options or different tools. Okay, as well as shortcut. Now, unlike in AutoCAD, whenever you command a shortcut here in Revit, you do not need to press enter. Okay, so you only need to press the shortcut. Okay, so just remember that. So let's say for example, if you want to use the pipe tool, you just need to type PI, okay? And then you'll be able to use the pipe tool. Just remember, before you type a command, make sure you just click outside first, the blank area, just to make sure you just click outside, and then you just type the shortcut. And then no need to press enter, okay? So that's the difference between AutoCAD and then the Revit command. Now, if you're wondering how to customize your keyboard shortcut, so you just need to type KS. KS stands for keyboard shortcut. Or you can always go to your file, you go to the options, and then you go to the user interface. You can also see here your keyboard shortcut. All right, so you just need to click customize. And then you can now see here the keyboard shortcut. So let's say, for example, in my case, I always use select ID. Okay, so the reason why I always use select ID is when I'm doing a clash detection or interference checking in Revit. So if I want to find this element in interference check, so I get the ID and then I search it. So since I always use that, I created a shortcut for my select ID tool. Okay, because I'm just going to close this. Okay, so don't be confused. Okay, so I'm just going to close this. I'm going to select OK. Don't be confused. Okay, so I'm going to select here manage. So I go to manage. This is just an example of the keyboard shortcut. So I go to the manage, And then this is what I'm talking about, select ID. Okay, so in my case, I always use select ID. Like what I have said earlier, I use that for clash detection or interference checking. As you can see, there's no shortcut for select ID, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a shortcut for select ID. So how to create a shortcut? So just like what I have said earlier, we're going to open the keyboard shortcut, right? Or you can also type KS if you want. Okay, so in my case, I'll just go to File, Options, and then let's go to User Interface, and then I go to Keyboard Shortcut. Now here, I'm going to search for the command or for the tool. So I'm going to type select, and then I can now see their select ID. Right, so there's the select ID. As you can see, there's no shortcut there. Okay, so this is one tip to those BIM managers. So you can standardize the shortcuts that your company is using. Okay, so that just in case, for example, I'm a BIM designer, I transfer to another user's computer, so the shortcut is the same. Okay, so I go to the select ID, and then I can press here the key. All right, so I'm going to type here, because I don't think I can still use ID, so I'm going to type ID. Okay, ID, and then I'm going to assign it. So I select assign. Oh, so I can use the ID shortcut. Okay, now I do not want ID. I want something that can be easily pressed. So instead of using ID, I'm going to select that one. Or I can still add another shortcut for my select ID. Okay, so usually the shortcut that I use for that is 1D, so that it can be easily typed, right? I'm just going to type 1 and D, so they are near. Although you can still use ID shortcut, but I prefer 1D. Again, this is a preference, okay? So I want 1D, and then I'm going to assign it. So as you can see, you can assign multiple shortcuts to one command, right? Now, I do not like the ID here, so I just select that one, and then I select remove. Okay, and then I select here OK. So basically, that's how you create your shortcut. So I'm going to select here OK, and let's try that one out. Select OK. All right, so I'm going to type 1D, and there you go. So there's your select elements by ID. This is very important in my case. Every time I do a clash detection or interference checking, I always get the ID from Navisworks or even in Revit, and then I search it using this tool. Okay, and since I always use that, then I just created a shortcut for that. Okay, so that's the point. Okay, right. Okay, so where are we? So user interface. So this is our tab, and then these are the panels. And then, as you can see here, you can also select this one, okay? There's an arrow just beside the name of the panel, like for example here, on the mechanical settings, there's an arrow there, the mechanical settings. So when you click that, okay, so it will give you another dialog box. So that's a dialog launcher, so that arrow there, okay? Wherein you can set up settings here of your mechanical settings of your mechanical. Okay, I think not only the mechanical, but if you go to architecture, there are also some okay, so not here, so there's no dialog launcher on the architectural. So how about structure? Okay, so the structure, there's a dialog launcher there, so it will open up a dialog box. Alright, so it's really slow. Okay, yeah, so that's the dialog launcher. Okay, right. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel this one. Okay, so that's the dialog launcher. Well, anyway, then we also have this type of button here. Like for example, for the architecture tab, so this one, so you can expand it, so you can click that, and then you can pin it. Okay, if you do not want that, because this one will auto hide. If you move your pointer away, it will hide, right? But if you're going to click that one, and then if you're going to select the pin here, it will pin your expanded panel, right? So you can do that as well. And another thing, if you want to save some space, you can click this arrow here. Okay, you can click that. It will minimize that one. So you click once. Okay, it will minimize to that button. If you click again, it will minimize to tiles here like that. But if you're going to hover your pointer, it will show you the tools, right? Okay, just like that. So again, if I'm going to click this one, okay, you click again, and then it will show. Okay, so again, don't panic just in case you lost your button. Okay, so you just need to click these arrows here. Okay. Okay, so what else? So apart from the ribbon, so we also have this part of the user interface. Okay, so question, does your button here located also in this area? So this area here, by the way, is what I called, or what we called, quick access toolbar. Okay, so does your quick access toolbar also located here? Because I think by default your quick access toolbar is located here at the top. Okay, so the only reason I place my quick access toolbar here below, it's that I just want it here. Okay, it's just that. Okay, because by default the quick access toolbar is located here at the top, so I want my quick access toolbar here. So just in case you want to change that, you just need to click that drop down arrow. Okay, so you just need to click that one, and then there's an option here, show above the ribbon or show below the ribbon if your quick access toolbar is located at the top. Okay, so you can click that one, and there you go. So there's now your quick access toolbar. So again, if you want to place your quick access toolbar below, you can click the drop down arrow, and then you can select show below the ribbon. Okay, so show below the ribbon. Click that one, and there you go. Okay. All right, so take note that here on your quick access toolbar, you can add buttons or commands that you always use. Like, for example, oh, I always use the pipe command or the pipe tool. So instead of going to the Systems tab and then select the pipe every time I need that, so I will just right-click the pipe or right-click the button that you want to be added to the quick access toolbar, and then just select add to quick access toolbar, and that's it. Just click. There you go. So it's now added here on our quick access toolbar, so that just in case I'm on the architecture tab and then suddenly I want to change or I want to create a pipe, so I don't need to go to the systems and then select the pipe because it's already here. Or again, you can type the shortcut if you want. All right. Do you have any questions so far regarding our topic? Okay. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? I know it's kind of delay. Do you have any question? Okay, so you don't have any question. That's good. That's good. Are you still awake? Okay, so maybe you need to take coffee if you are sleepy. Anyway, let's move on. So this is our quick access toolbar. So by the way, here on the quick access toolbar, you can select here the commonly used tools that we always use in Revit. Okay, so like for example, opening a new project, saving your project, synchronizing, undo, redo, okay, printing, dimensioning, call out, okay, or tagging. So there's the text, 3D view, etc., etc. Don't worry, we're going to use these tools, okay? So don't panic. So I'm just saying that on our quick access toolbar, here you can find the tools or the commands that you most of the time use. Okay? Right, so we're going to discuss that one. Nothing else matter. Thanks for that. Okay, now you see here on my quick access toolbar, just below there is a blank area. Okay, so there's a blank area. So this blank area, this is what you call options bar. Okay, why is it options bar when there is no option? Okay, so options bar, this is a command sensitive and object sensitive. Okay, so what happens is it will only populate with options, of course, if you select a command or tool. Like, for example, okay, if I'm going back to my systems tab, and let's say, for example, I'm going to select a duct. Okay, I select the duct. You will notice my options bar here will populate, right? So there's now an options here. So like, for example, the level, what level you are going to place your duct, what will gonna be the diameter because it's a rounded duct, and what is the middle elevation or the offset. Okay, so that's the only time your quick access or your options bar will going to be populated. So whenever you select an object, or let's say you select an element. Okay, but if you're going to escape to terminate your command, okay, you can escape a couple of times to terminate the command, or you can also select modify. Okay, just click the modify here, this one, and it will terminate your tool or selected elements. It will deselect, so that you will notice your options bar now here is blank. Okay, so if I'm going to select one here, like for example, I'm going to zoom in, I'm going to select this. Let's see if there's an option. So I'm going to select this, and there you go. So after I select an object, again, there is an option that appears on our options bar. But if I'm going to click outside, after I select an object, to deselect, you will notice it will gone. Okay, it will disappear. Because like what I've said, options bar, it will only populate if you select an object or if you select a command. Okay, so remember that. So what is this? What is this one? So this one is what you call ribbon. And then you have here the panel. And then you have here the buttons for the command. And then you have here the quick access toolbar. Okay, and then you have here your options bar. Okay, and then you have here your title bar. Okay, all right, so let's move on to another part of the user interface, which is our project browser. Okay, so this is our project browser. Project browser is one of the important window in Revit. Okay, so as you can see here, our project browser, it shows a logical hierarchy for all views, schedules, if you have sheets, groups, and other parts of the current project. Okay, so as you can see, you can expand this. So you see that one, you can hide, you can collapse, you can expand it. Okay, you can actually right click at the blank space here, you right click, and then there's an option here, expand all. So it will expand all. Okay, and then if you right click again, there's collapse all. And you can also search a family here, an element. So right click, you can select search there. You can type what you want. Okay, like for example, HVAC. Enter. So as you can see, it will show you here HVAC. So if I'm going to select next again, so there's another one. So there's an HVAC. So it's a search. Okay, so which is very useful. Okay, so again, I'm now going to close this one. Okay, so this is a project browser. It's like the table of contents of a book. So like for example, here on our project browser, if I'm going to expand this all, sorry about that. Okay, where's that? If I'm going to expand this all, so expand all, so you will notice one of the view here is highlighted, which is 3D, which is this one. Okay, so meaning to say, this is the current view that is open right now. Okay, so that's how you will check out what is the current view that is currently open. Okay, so aside from looking at the title bar here, you can see that the name of the view that is currently open is 3D. Aside from that, you can also check out from the project browser. You can see that it's already highlighted here. It's 3D, right? So let's say, for example, so let's open up our lighting plan, our level 1 lighting plan. So to open a view, so all you have to do is to double click the view that you want. For example, this one, just double click and then it will open the view. Or you can actually right click and then you can select open. Okay, or much easier, just double click it. Double click and then it will now open your view, the floor plan. Okay, so check out now your title bar. Sorry. Okay, so it's now say level 1 lighting plan, right? So it's correct. It's C here. It tells you that level 1 lighting plan is open. So that's how you will know what is the view that is currently open from the project browser. Of course, you can always look at the title bar here. What is the name of the view that is currently open? Okay, so hopefully that one is clear. So project browser is very important. Okay, so it's very important because it really helps you a lot. Okay, you can actually relocate your project browser. Okay, you can relocate the project browser. So let's say, for example, I want the project browser to be placed here at the right side. Okay, so I'm just going to drag that. Okay, you see that part? Just drag and then you can put it here. That one, oops. Okay, there is something wrong with my monitor here. And there you go. So it's now here. It's now docked here at the project browser. But I do not want to do that. Okay, so I prefer it on the left side. Okay, so that's your project browser. So aside from the views here, like the floor plans, like the 3D views, like the elevation, like the section, if you have legend, you can also see the legend here. But if you don't have, of course, it's a blank there. So there's no legend. But we also have schedule here. So try opening up some views here. Just double click just to see the other views. So how powerful is your project browser? Okay, so you can see here the sheets, and then you can also see here all the families that is loaded inside your project. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of families that is loaded in your project. Now, just in case you accidentally close your, let's say, project browser. Okay, so by the way, I'm just going back to my level 1 lighting plan. Okay, I can click from here, or I can just double click from here. So it's up to you. Okay, so I'm just going to click this. Of course, you can close that one if you want. And if you want to open it, you just need to go back to your project browser. Just double click it. Okay. Now, like what I've said earlier, just in case you accidentally close your project browser. Again, this is noob's mistake. Okay, beginner's mistake. Sometimes we tend to close things that we do not want to be closed, right? Okay, so if that happens, you accidentally close your project browser. So what you do is just simply right click at the blank space. Don't worry. Okay, so just right click at the blank space and then you will see their browser. Okay, so browser, and there you go. You have the project browser. Right? Very simple. There you go. So you now have your project browser. Did you get it? Do you have any question? Do you have any question, class? Do you have any question? Okay, so shout out to Shinra. Maraming salamat sa tutorials, bro. It means thank you very much for the tutorials, brother. And thank you to Mr. Alvin Manuel. Okay, so do you have any questions? All right. Okay, that's good. Right, so let's move on. So, all right, so project browser, that's our project browser. Now, as you can see here, on our project browser, so just beside my project browser, I have a properties here. Do you also have properties, guys? So maybe your properties is located at the right side, so maybe it's just over the project browser, but it's a property. So what I'm going to do in my case, do not be confused. It just so happened that I already set up my project browser and then properties. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag the properties here. This one, I'm just going to drag. I'm going to hold the left click and then I'm going to drag it outside just like that. Okay. Okay. As you can see, my project browser here is a bit of a mess. All right. So there's the properties and there you go. All right. So there's my properties. So I just put the properties to the other side so that you can see my project browser and then my properties. Okay, properties is very important. Okay, so can you see my properties? All right, so let me just check. All right, so I can see my properties. Okay, so the properties here. Okay, if you do not select any object, remember this, guys. If you do not select any objects, the properties will show you the view properties. Okay, so remember that. If you do not select any objects, the properties will show you the view properties. Okay, so the view properties. That means, let's say for example, oh, I want to know what's the scale of this view. What is the scale of my level 1 lighting plan? Okay, so if that's the case, just check out the properties. You can now see here the scale. Oh, so that's 1:100. So let's say for example, oh, I want to change that to 1:50. So I'm going to click that, and then there's a drop down arrow. Click the drop down arrow, and then there's the 1:50. So I'm going to select 1:50. And there you go. So it's now changed to 1:50. So let's say, oh, I don't want 1:50. So I'm going to change that to 1:200, for example. And there you go. So it's now 1:200, right? So that is what happens. So I'm just going to change it back to 1:100. So basically, if you do not select any object, again, so the properties will show you the properties of the view. So right now, what is the discipline of my current view? Okay, so what is the discipline? Again, you check out the properties. You go to the properties and then you look for the graphics parameter, and under the graphics parameter, you can see there the discipline. Oh, okay, so the discipline of my current view is electrical. So that's obvious because we are on the lighting plan. So you can also check out the project browser here. You can see that, oh, so it's electrical. So the discipline is electrical. The sub-discipline is lighting. Okay, so let me double check that. You see, sub-discipline is lighting. Okay, so that is where you can check out the property. Now, let's say for example, okay, just for fun. So let's say for example, sir, is it possible, even though my floor plan is lighting, can I place that under the mechanical discipline? Okay, you just want to monkey around. Okay, yes, you can do that. So because I do not want to see the lighting plan here under the electrical, so I want that to be under mechanical. Is that possible? Yes, that's possible if you want. So what you can do is just click outside. Okay, so you are on the level 1 lighting plan. So what you can do is just go to the properties and then change the discipline. Just Just like that. You just click the drop down arrow and then you just select mechanical. And then just click outside to auto apply it and see what will happen. See? Have you seen that? So it's now under mechanical. You see? Hey, what if I want that to be under HVAC? I don't want that to be under lighting. Okay, so I do not want my level 1 lighting plan under lighting. I want HVAC. Okay, so to do that, you just change the sub-discipline. So you look for sub-discipline, you click that, you click the drop-down arrow, and then you look for the sub-discipline that you want. Let's say HVAC. You click that. And then just click outside, and there you go. Okay, got it? Have you tried it? Can you try it, guys? Can you try it? Please try. Okay, so you play around, monkey around on the project browser. Okay. Okay, so that's how you do it. So just remember, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to put it back. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back to under the lighting. Oh, okay. Wow, thank you for the super chat. Okay. Thank you, Richard Garcia. So it's the same name as mine. Okay, so thank you for the super chat of $5. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that one. Okay, now going back, I'm gonna change back again my lighting plan. So there's my lighting plan. I'm gonna put it back again to electrical. So it's simple. Just click outside. Make sure you do not select any objects so that the properties will still be view properties. So I'm gonna make it light electrical here, and then the sub-discipline here is lighting. Okay, so basically the sub-discipline here and I mean the discipline here, it depends on the setting that you want to show on your project. Like for example, okay, to show it to you explicitly, I'm going to change my view to 3D. Okay, so I'm going to click the 3D view here. Or of course, you can also double click the 3D view here. Okay, so it's up to you. You can click the 3D view here, or you can double click the view here, the 3D. Or if you already opened that a while ago and you didn't close that, you can just click from here, which is this one, right? So you click that one. There you go. So we are now on the 3D view. So what we are going to do is, right now in this view, like what I have said, if you do not select any object, you will know what is the discipline of your current view. So the discipline of our current view is mechanical. The sub-discipline is HVAC. That's why our 3D view here is under the mechanical discipline and then under the HVAC discipline. Let's say, for example, can I see the architectural model highlighted? Because currently the highlighted elements here is mechanical, because our discipline is mechanical. So let's say, for example, I want the architectural model to be seen. I want that to be highlighted as well. So to do that, you just need to change your discipline here. That is how it works. So when you say architectural or the coordination, it will highlight all the models. Okay, so not only the mechanical, but also the architectural. Okay, so let's say I'm going to click the architectural here, and then I'll just click outside to auto apply. You will see that it will highlight also the architectural model, right? Okay, by the way, to orbit your model, just like what I'm doing right now, you see I can orbit the model like this. I call this 3D orbit. Okay, this is 3D orbit. To 3D orbit, so what you can do is hold the shift. Okay, hold the shift, and then after that you hold the middle button. it's like in AutoCAD as well. You hold the middle button and then hold the shift, and then while holding the shift and then the middle button, you can move your mouse. Okay, it will orbit your model, and then you can release your middle button and then the shift, and then you can zoom in, right? Okay, so that's how you 3D orbit your model, right? Did you get it? Do you have any questions on that one? Okay, so you can orbit your 3D. Okay, so you just need to, can you please try that? So you hold your shift, and then you hold the middle button, and then you move your cursor, okay? Okay, so are you able to do that, guys? So hopefully you're able to do that. Okay, so one technique that I would like you to know when orbiting your model is it would be better to select first an element so that the pivot of your 3D model will gonna be concentrated on that selected object when you orbit it. Okay, so like for example, okay, if you are just going to zoom in your model to one part, like for example here, I'm going to zoom in my model to this part, and then after that I'm going to orbit. So what happens is when you orbit, you will lose the model from your view, right? When you orbit. Okay, so it would be better if you select first the object so that the pivot of your, or the pivot of your 3D model or your 3D orbit will gonna be on that selected element. So you will not lose the view of your model when you orbit it. Okay, so like for example, I'm going to zoom in here. So I'm going to click this first. So when I orbit my model, you will notice that your view is only concentrated on that view. So you will not lose the view, right? Okay, so you just need to zoom in first, select the object, and then you orbit. Like for example, here. So I want to concentrate my orbiting in this portion. So I'm going to select this equipment here, this cooling tower. I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to orbit. Just like that. Okay, you see? Okay, so it's not ideal to just zoom in your model. I'm going to deselect by clicking outside. It's not ideal to just zoom in like that and then you orbit, because you will lose the model from your orbiting, right? So it's better you select a pivot. Okay, like for example this one, click that, and then you can pan your drawing, then you can orbit, right? Okay, did you get it? Do you have any question? You can just put it on our live chat if you have any question on our topic. Okay, now so that's how the discipline works. Okay, so the discipline will only show you the discipline that you have selected. It will highlight the discipline that you selected. So if you want to show the structural, if there's any structural elements in this project, so you just need to select structural. If you want to highlight the MEP, the mechanical, electrical, or the plumbing, you just need to select that discipline. Okay, and then you will know, you will also notice here that our 3D now, it's now under architectural, because that is the current discipline that you have selected. Now, if you want to go back to mechanical, you want to see the mechanical elements only here in this 3D view highlighted, and then the architectural as a background or gray color. So what you can do, of course, is you just change the discipline here. So you click that, click the drop down arrow, and then change that to mechanical, and then just click outside. It will auto apply. There you go. So it's now again under the mechanical. Subdiscipline is HVAC. Did you get it? Okay, if you have any question, you can put it on our live chat. Okay. Whew. So tired. I'm I'm just talking for over an hour, but I feel so tired already. All right. Okay, so going back. Okay, so you cannot create the discipline. So there's a question here from Nothing Else Matter. He said that how to create discipline. You cannot create discipline. So discipline is a hard-coded in Revit. So what you can only create is the sub-discipline. Okay, you can add more sub-discipline here, but the discipline you can't create that one. Okay, so it's already hard-coded. You can't add, and I don't think you can remove as well. Okay, all right. Now, a while ago, I said that if you do not select any elements or element, the properties will show you view properties. So meaning to say, if you want to see the property of this view, just check the properties here, right? Okay, all right. So for uniformity, I want you to open level 2 HVAC plan. All right, so let's open up this one, level 2 HVAC plan. Double click, don't be shy. As you will notice, every time you open the views, it keeps on adding here on our tabs, window tabs here, right? So all the views that we have open, it will just keeps on adding here. Now, just in case you want to close all the views that you do not use, like for example, oh, I do not want to use that again. I will just double click the 3D here again, just in case I want that to be open. So, and let's say, I do not want this lighting schedule. I do not want this lighting plan. So instead of closing it one by one like this, so instead of closing that one by one, what you can do is take note of this. You can go to the view tab. Okay, so let's go to the view tab. And then after that, look for close inactive views. Okay, so close inactive views, it's actually here that as well on my quick access toolbar. Close inactive views, because again, I always use this one. Okay, so I have a question, guys. Is it already default in your quick access toolbar, the close inactive windows? Is it already default on the quick access toolbar, or you need to add it? Because I already forgot. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna click this icon here. It's the same as going to the view tab, and then you click that button to close inactive view. Just click that one, and then as you can see, it will now close all the views. Oh, so it's already default. Oh, thank you, sir. Thanks, Sir German. So the close inactive views is already default here on our quick access toolbar. So you just need to click that one if you want to close the other views. All right. Now going back, if you open another view, like for example the 3D here, you double click the 3D. So again, we now have two views here. If you want to see these two views side by side, okay, if you want to see these two views side by side, the level 2 HVAC plan and then the 3D view, what you can do is you go to the view tab, and then you can select their tile views. Okay, so thank you for that, Sir Alvin. So you go to the tile views, or you can also type WT. So for the tile views, I actually just type WT. So instead of going to that button, but I'm just showing to you guys. Okay, so you can click that. So it arranges all open views within the application window. So you click that, and then it will now show you the view side by side, just like that. Okay, again, you can pan. If you want this view here, our level 2 HVAC plan, to be placed here on the left side, just click this view, just activate this view, and then after that, just tile again, and then it will go to the left side. Okay, again, since I always use the tile views. I added it here already. I think tile views is not default on your quick access toolbar. So in case you want that to be added on your quick access toolbar, you go to the views, you right click the tile views, and then you select add to quick access toolbar so that it will gonna be added here. All right. And one thing that I would like to show you guys, if you have so many views open, like for example, I'm gonna open one elevation view. I open elevation view here. Any elevation view, it can be east, north, south, west. Okay, just double click any of the elevation. Okay, and then I'm going to tile it again. So I'm going to select the tile views. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So if you want all of these views to be zoom extents, you know, if you want all of this view to show in our window, extend. So what you can do is you can right click in one view, and then there's an option here, zoom to fit. Okay, so what happened if you select zoom to fit, it will only zoom to fit that current window. Okay, but if you want all of the views to be zoomed to fit at once, what you can do is you can click this navigation bar here. There's a navigation bar. You should be able to have, or you should be able to see a navigation bar. Just in case you do not have the navigation bar, which is this one, this is a navigation bar. You have that in your every view. So that's a navigation bar. So that's a navigation bar here. So just in case you don't have the navigation bar, let's say you accidentally close that in this view. So again, what you can do is you can go to the view tab, and then you go to the user interface, and then you can see the navigation bar. Or again, if you want, you can create a shortcut for navigation bar. All right, so let's click that. Let's click navigation bar, and it will now show again. All right, so let's go. So let's say, for example, you lost your model like that. You lost. Okay, you lost your model. By the way, if you want to go to another view, just click, or to another window, just click that window, and then you can now work on that window. So you just click, left click. Okay, so let's say I lost all the views. So if I want all of these views to be zoom extents, so what I can do is from the navigation bar, there is an option here, zoom all to fit. Okay, so zoom all to fit. So let's click zoom all to fit, and voila. Okay, it will now zoom all to fit your views, okay, in your drawing area. Yes, after this live stream finish, it will automatically upload it to my YouTube channel, so you can watch a replay of this one. Yeah, guys, if you have anything to do in this hour, you can just leave the live stream. That's all right. So I really appreciate you guys coming over to my live stream. So thank you currently to the 22 viewers, and thank you for the 19 likes, and also thanks for the one that gave a super chat. Thank you for the $4.99 there. Appreciate that. Okay, anyway, right, so going back, so let us zoom in, or let us maximize our floor plan. So how to maximize this floor plan? Okay, so if you want to maximize this floor plan, it's you're welcome, Stan, you're always welcome. Okay, so if you want to maximize this floor plan here, our level 2 HVAC plan, you want to maximize that, what you can do is, again, it has something to do with view, right? So what you can do is you can go to the view again, go to the view, and then there's a tool here that is called tab views, or you can type TW. Okay, so TW. Again, I always use this one, that's why I already added that here on my quick access toolbar. See, that's my tab views. All right. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Nothing else matter. See you again. See you when I see you. All right, so you click the tab views. You click first the view that you want to maximize. Let's say, for example, this floor plan here. So you click that, and then you click the tab views. Or you can click from here, from the views tab, from the view tab. Okay, it's okay, Brad Marianito. It's okay. We're just exploring the user interface. This is very important. Okay, so let's click the tab views. There you go. Okay. And then again, if your model is too small, you can just simply right click at the blank space, and then you can select zoom to fit. Okay. There are also other options here, but I do not use most of the options here. Okay, I just use zoom to fit. Just click that, and then it will now zoom to fit. Okay. Thanks be to God. Okay, so they said salamat sa Diyos. So that means thanks be to God, guys, to those non-Filipino speaker. Okay, just give me just a second. I'm just going to drink water, okay? Okay, sorry for the delay. Okay. Oh, shout out to Deso Channel PH. Thank you for visiting my channel, sir, brother. He said panalo, brother. It says winner, brother. Mega shout out to all here, and thank you for supporting this live streaming today. Thank you, Brad Deso Channel, for supporting my live stream. And also to Alvin Manuel, thank you for visiting my channel. Shout out to Brother Marianito Cabarte and Sean Sacramento. Okay, so let's move on to our topic. Alright, so a while ago, what I have said is, if you do not select any objects on your model here, the properties will show you the view properties. Now, if you're going to select one element, let's say, for example, I'm going to zoom into this area here. So let's zoom in to this area of dock and air terminals. So let's say, for example, I'm going to click one air terminal. Let's say this one. Let's click this one, guys. Okay, so let's click this air terminal. Let's click that one. Okay, so what have you noticed? Okay, so what have you noticed, guys? Do you think this is still view properties on our properties? Okay, so do you think this is a view properties? Okay, if you said yes, you are wrong, because this is not a view properties anymore. Okay, so this is what you call instance properties. Okay, so take note of that. Instance properties. Instance spelling is instance. I-N-S-T-A-N-C-E. Instance. Okay? So this is what you call instance properties. So meaning to say, the properties right now is showing the property of the selected element or elements, because you can select multiple elements. Okay? So you can select multiple elements. So if you want to select multiple elements, okay, you can do this. Okay? You can select one, and then you hold control. Okay, if you hold control, you will notice your pointer. You see this one, my pointer here. If I hold control, there's a plus sign on that pointer, and then I can click another object, like for example this one. So it will now be added to the selection. So let's say I'm gonna click this one as well. I click this. You see, it's now added to the selection. So you will also notice here from the properties, from the instance properties, it tells me that, hey, that's an air terminal. And then you selected 3 air terminals there, right? Do not click the drop down arrow. It will just confuse you. Okay, you see, it tells you that, oh, I just selected 3 air terminals. Now it says here, multiple families selected. And then these properties that is showing right now here on the instance properties, these are the common properties that you can find in these 3 air terminals that I have selected. Okay, and then these are their properties. Okay, so they have the same level. So they are all placed at level 2. Their offset or elevation from level 2 is 2,450. And then their offset from the host is also 2,450. And they are created in new construction phase, and there is no phase demolish applied to these 3 elements. Okay? Okay, so hopefully you get that one. So these are the properties of those selected elements. These are the common properties from these 3 elements. Now, if I'm going to deselect these 3 elements, I'm going to click outside, or I'll just select modify. Okay, I'm just going to select 1 air terminal. Okay, so let's click 1 air terminal. So let's click that one. Okay, so let's click 1 air terminal, guys. And then after that, let's check out again the properties. So what is the name of this air terminal? Okay, so this is the category. Take note, guys, this is the category. So the category of that element that I have selected is an air terminal. Okay, 1 air terminal. And then the family type of that is supply diffuser. And then you can see here the size. So it's 600 by 600, 250 neck. Okay, so that's the type of this family. Rectangular face, round neck, and then there's the size. And then these are the properties of that air terminal. As you can see here, let's say, oh, I do not want to show the up flow arrow. So let me just zoom in first. Okay, like that. Okay, so I'm just going to uncheck this and then just click outside. So it's now disappear. Okay, so I'm going to click again. So I'm just going to check it. So basically, this is the instance properties of my air terminal here. Okay, so I can see here the total pressure. I can see here the flow. I can see here the mark. I can see here the level. I can see here the elevation from level, the offset. Okay, any changes that I made here in this instance property, if it will only apply to this element here. Okay, it will only apply to this element here. So I want you to take notice of this one. If I'm going to click this, it's obviously that this one and then this one here, they are just the same. Okay, they are just the same, right? So if I'm going to click this, check out the type selector here. Check out the type. So if I'm going to select this, nothing changes, right? Because this air terminal is the same as the other air terminal here. Now, if I'm going to select this and then change the property here on the instance property, it will only affect this one. Okay, it will only affect this one. Okay, so I want you guys to do this. Let us select this and then hold control, and then let's click the other air terminal. So let's click that. Okay, so after you select these 2 elements here, what we are going to do is, let's select this tool here. It's called selection box. This is very useful, guys, because it will create or it will isolate the selected elements in the current view to a 3D view. Okay, it will make a 3D view of that selected elements. So this is a very nice feature. Okay, so select these 2 elements here. Again, If you didn't get it, I'm just going to click one, hold Control, and then you click the other element. Okay. If you still don't get it, just rewatch again this video once it's uploaded to my channel. Okay, so let's select the selection box. Click that one. There you go. There you go. This is what I like. See, it's just created the selection box. Okay, right? So it isolates now my two air terminal here. Okay, and I also want you to go to your quick access toolbar and then turn on the thin lines, because as you can see, it's really thick, right? It shows me the line weight of my elements here. So in my modeling, every time I model in 3D or even in the floor plan view, I do not want to show these line weights of my elements because it's too thick, right? You see? It's too thick. So sometimes it's covering some part of the 3D model. It's too thick. See? You can't see the fine details here. So what I want you to do, guys, is you go to the quick access toolbar and then turn on the thin lines. Or you can also type TL. Okay, so you can type TL. Okay, so you click that one and there you go. So it's now fine, right? Okay, you can see the fine lines, fine details of your model. Okay. Okay, so what we are going to do here is I'm going to click this one. I'm going to click this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the elevation from level. So instead of 2450, let's say for example I'm going to make this 2600. 2600, so that will going to be the height of that air terminal, and then I'm going to just click again here to auto apply. So as you can see, it only applies to that selected element, right? Stop on video. No, it's just continuing here in my side, ma'am. Ma'am Anna, did my video stop on your side? Guys, is my video hanging or did it stop? Can you confirm it, guys, if my video is hanging or stop? Okay, because in my case here, it's just continuing on playing. Okay, so where are we? Oh, so maybe you can just refresh your YouTube, Ma'am Anna, because it's working just fine. Okay, now let's go back. All right, so for this one, I have changed here the elevation. No, don't restart. Just refresh your YouTube. Just refresh it. Don't restart your machine. Just refresh. Okay, so going back. So for this one, we have changed the elevation, right? Again, we have topic for this one because sometimes the air terminal is hosted on our ceiling. We call that hosted family. So this one is non-hosted, so we can move it up and down without having the problem with hosted elements. Okay, because this one is non-hosted family. All right, so we have changed this one to this height. So as you can see, even if this family is the same as this one, the other one still remains. So if I click this, it's still 2450, right? Because like what I have said, any changes that you made here on your instance properties, it will only affect the selected element or elements. Okay, if you select multiple elements. Okay, so like for example, if I'm gonna click this and then hold control, and then select that air terminal, you will notice that the elevation from level here is different, right? See, it's different. Why is it different? Because it's blank, right? It's blank because if they are the same, you can see here a number, but you can see that it's different because it's blank here. Okay, so let's say, for example, I'm going to type here 2450, or let's say 2700, 2700, and then click outside. You will notice both of them will going to move, right? Because you have selected both. Okay, so that's my point. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one, then hold Control, select the other one, and then make it 2450. Okay. Oh, did I type it wrong? All right, so that's the height. Now, so that's the instance properties. Now, what I'm going to do next is, so you know already view properties, and then you know already instance properties. Okay, I'm going to show you another type of property. Okay, so this time around, I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to select here edit type. This one. Edit type. So if you select edit type, you click that one. Alright, it will open up your type properties. This one. So this is the type properties. Here, any changes that you made on the type properties. So this is the third properties. Type properties. So you have the view properties, you have the instance properties, and then you also have the type properties. So any changes that you made here on your type properties, it will affect all the family that has the same type and family name. Like, for example, the family name here is this one, and then you have this type here. So if you have 100 of this type here, this one, any changes that you made here, it will affect all of those 100. Just like this, our guy here. So we know that this air terminal is the same type as this air terminal, right? So they are the same 600 by 600 by 250 neck, right? So let's say, oh, I want to change this one to 600, let's say 700 by 700, okay? So I want to change the width 1 and then the width 2. So you do not just simply go here and then you do not just simply change the width 1 and then width 2. Why? Because let's say, for example, this is the only air terminal that you want to change. And then suddenly you go to the type properties and then just change things here. So what happened? The other air terminals will also change because they are just under the same type. So if you have 1,000 air terminals like this, or 1,000 lighting fixture, or 1,000 sprinkler, all those elements will gonna change as well. Why? Because they are just the same type. So you do not just simply go inside the type properties and then change things unless you know what you are doing. If you do not know what you are doing, this is what you do, okay? You just send me you just comment on my video on how to do that, or you can just email me on what to do, or you just take note of this. Select duplicate, okay? You duplicate it. So let's say, oh, I want to have 700 by 700. Okay, do not change the width 1 and width 2 straight away. Just duplicate. So what we are doing, we are creating a new type of family for M supply diffuser, rectangular face round neck. We are creating a new type of that. Okay, so just duplicate this one. Or just check first the type property. Maybe you already have 700 by 700 here. So just click the drop down. Oh, okay, I do not have that. Okay, you do not have 700 by 700. Okay, so that's why what you do is you go to duplicate, and then you can see the name there. Okay, you just put the correct name here. So let's say that is 700 by 700, 250 neck. Okay, so that is what you do. You create a new type. Don't just go there and then mess up the things. Okay, duplicate it first. Okay, duplicate, change the name, and then okay. Alright, so you now have that type that you want. So it's now added here. So you now have here 3 types. So now that you have a new type here, that's the time you can now change the width here. So let's say, oh, I want 700, I want 700. That's it. Okay. Then after that, you can now select here. Okay, if you want to add some identity data here, you want to add a description, you want to add a type mark, you want to add a cost, you can just put it here. Okay, because these parameters that we have here, you can create a schedule for this if you want to show all of this. So anyway, we have separate topic for that in creating a schedule. Don't worry about that. Don't be confused. Don't panic. What I'm just saying is that you can add more details here. All right. So now that you have created a new type, see what will happen here. If we select here, okay. Okay, so select okay. And voila, see? You just created a new type. So you have 700 here, you have 600 here. Now let's say, for example, you realize, oh, I also want this to be 700. That's all right. Just click that. You click the type selector. We call this type selector. You click that, drop down. You should now be able to see here the type that you created, which is this one, right? Just click that. And there you go. Hopefully this one is clear. Whew, it's so tiring. Let me take a breath. All right. Okay, so that's our properties. So we have how many types of properties? So we have view properties, you have instance properties, and then you have type properties. Okay. Okay, so that's one part of our view of our user interface. All right, so the properties. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so just below your drawing area here, this portion here, this is what we call a view control bar. Okay, so as the name implies, these are the tools that we can use aside from the properties to control the view of the current view. Okay, only the current view, just like the properties here. So our properties here control the properties of our current view. Not the other view, but our current view. So same with your view control bar. Okay, so let's say, for example, I go to level 2 HVAC plan. Okay, so this is my level 2 HVAC plan. Right? So here, let's say, for example, my current scale is 1:50. So I can also change from here. Okay, so from my view control bar. So we know already that we can also do that in our properties, but we can also do that in our view control bar. So you can click that one. You can change the scale here. Right? So let's say, oh, I want 1:100. Just click 1:100. And it will now becomes 1:100. Right? You see your view properties here. It's also 1:100. All right. And let's play around our view control bar. Some of the tools here, although we are going to discuss most of the tools here as we move on to our lesson. Okay, so let us just discuss couple of tools here. Okay, let's try this one. Show crop region. Okay, so let's click show crop region. So click that bulb. Notice that what will happen is, if this is the first time you click your show crop region, automatically this button here, the crop view, will going to be activated automatically. Right? Take a look. Let's click this, show crop region. And then you will notice it's now activated, the crop view. Okay? So what happens? So you now see this crop region. So this is the crop region. So let's say, for example, oh, sir, engineer, BIM manager, my current view is too big, but I only want to concentrate in this area. Okay, so I want to concentrate in this area. So if that's the case, you can use this crop region. You can click that, and then you can crop it so that it will give you peace of mind so that you will not get pressure because the project is too big. Okay, so you just crop that view, you crop that view, crop that view, and also it will gives you more like memory or the speed of your machine because you are only concentrating in this area. Okay, so don't bother about these things here. Okay, so that's the use of that one, show crop region. So if you do not want to show this crop region but you still want to crop the view, you can hide it. Okay, just hide it, hide the crop region. Okay, so you click the crop region, so you click that one, there you go, so it's now hidden. So this is also the two tools that we use when we crop a view and then we put it inside the sheet, right? If the view is too big and we want to fit that in one paper, so usually we crop that one and then we can put a match line. Again, we have topic for that. All right, so we're going to discuss that. You know, just we need to learn to crawl before you learn to walk. So it's like a song, right? Anyway, let's go back. Let us now disable this one. So let's select do not crop view so that we can show the whole view. Let's do not crop view. Click. And there you go. So it's now showing the whole view. Okay. So what is this again? This portion here. Don't worry, we will be using these tools here. Okay. I just don't want to give you a lot of things to think about. So we just do it one by one. Okay. Step by step. So we are just talking about the user interface. All right. So this is our what? View control bar. Okay. View control bar. So this is our properties. Okay, here, this portion here. Okay, so this is our status bar. Okay, so status bar, this is useful because whenever you select a tool, the status bar will tell you what to do first or what's the next step. Like, for example, I'm going to select my systems tab and let's say I'm going to select duct. If I select the duct, so check out your status bar. What does it say? So it says click to enter duct start point, right? So meaning to say that's the first thing that I'm going to do. I need to pick first to show the start point. So I'm going to click one. So that's my start point. So what does it say next? So enter duct endpoint. So I need to click another point to end the duct. So I'm going to click that. There you go. So I am now able to create my duct. So the point is, the status bar will tell you here what to do next. So it's like the command line window in AutoCAD. Okay, so you always read your status bar. Okay, so I'm now going to deselect the object or terminate the command by selecting modify. So you click that. There you go. Okay, and your status bar also is very useful because if you do not know what is the element is called, so you just need to select it. So you just need to select, like for example, this one here. Okay, you just click. You just hover your pointer. Do not click. Just hover your pointer, and then your status bar will now tell you what is that. Although there's already a tooltip that appears whenever you hover your pointer to the object, but eventually it will disappear. Okay, if that disappears, the tooltip, you just need to look at the status bar. It will tells you that that element is an air terminal, air supply diffuser, sidewall 450 by 200. Okay, so that's how it works. Right, and then we also have here, so aside from the status bar, we also have the work set. And then we also have here the selection tools. So we have a separate topic for this tools here, for these guys here. So these are the selection tools. Okay, So basically, that's our user interface. This is the basic user interface of Revit. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show you different ways of selecting an object. I already show you a couple of things. Like, for example, you want to select this air terminal here. You just need to click that using the left click of your mouse. And then if you want to add this to the selection, just hold Control and then you can click again. Right? Another way to select an object is you can use what you are doing in AutoCAD if you are using AutoCAD. If it is not, so this is one way. You can use a selection left to right. You can pick your first point on the left, drag your mouse like that, and then release your left click. There you go. So you are now able to select this area here. So this is what we call window selection. Okay, window selection. So window selection means any object that is completely inside that rectangular box will gonna be selected. It should be completely inside the selection box. It will gonna be selected. So that is window selection. That is what? Left to right. Okay, the other one is, let me just quickly show you again. Like for example, this one, this is elevation view. So if you want to select the elevation view using a window selection, it should be completely inside the box like that. Not like this, because as you can see, it's not selected, right? It's not highlighted. So make sure it's completely inside the box. Okay. The other selection, aside from the window selection, is crossing selection. Crossing selection is like clicking from the right side going to the left side. Okay? So crossing selection, for you to be able to select the element, it doesn't necessarily means follow that it should gonna be completely inside the selection box. Okay, so as long as it touches the selection box of your crossing selection, it will be selected. Okay, like for example, again, this one. Okay, I'm going to use crossing selection, right to left. Right, click, and then to left. You see, it's already selected, even though it's just touching the box, right? That's the difference between the window selection and crossing selection. So this is window selection. You see, it needs to be completely inside the box. So that's the window selection. And then crossing selection is like this, right to left. As long as it touches the box, it will gonna be selected, right? All right. Okay. Okay. So I think that's it for now. So that's the user interface of Revit. Okay, so on our next topic, what we are going to do, let us try to explore some of the editing tools. Like for example, how to copy, how to move, how to align. Okay, so those modifiers. Okay, so that is what we're going to talk about later on our next session. Tomorrow, we don't have live stream. Thursday, we don't have. Friday. Okay, Friday. No. Friday, no. Saturday, no. Sunday, I'm going to confirm, but definitely we're going to do it again on Tuesday. Okay, so if we do not have class on Sunday, okay, God willing, it's gonna be Tuesday again. Okay, so do you have any questions on the topic that we have discussed now? So if you have any questions on our topic, now is the right time to fire up our live chat. Okay, so first I'm going to shout out to those who attended. Okay, to those who have comment here, because I don't know who are the other attendees because they didn't comment. So shout out to Near Hindi, Zuzong, Mahesh Odedara, Charu Tech, Tura, Liniel De Jesus, shout out to you. Near Hindi, Deepak Kumar Sahu, Near Hindi. Okay, Roman Baral, Anna, si Ma'am Anna. Who else? Deepak Kumar, Masao. Who else? Re Naranjo, Toy Did, shout out to you. Judel Chanko, John JP, Sipho Nkosi, Boris. Okay, thanks, mate. Who else? German Sanchez, Alvin Manuel, shout out to you. Okay, who else? Nothing else matter. Sipho Nikosi, street piano and guitar player. KKKKKK. Shinra. Okay. Who else? Thank you Richard Garcia for giving me a super chat, $5. Okay, who else? Stan M3H, thank you for coming. Brother Marianito Caberte, shout out to you, bro. Sean Sacramento, shout out to you. Deso Channel PH, thank you for coming, shout out to you, bro. And that's it. Okay, BJ Bashkaran. Okay, thank you guys for coming on our first live stream. So just please check out my community post. So that is where I'm going to post if we're going to have a channel, if we're going to have a live stream on Sunday. But definitely the next one for sure is Tuesday. Okay, BJ, there's not much difference on 2020 version 2021. Okay, so they're just almost the same. Okay, all the important tools are also in 2020. So if you have 2020, you can use that. So not much difference. Okay, so thank you guys. I really appreciate coming for you guys coming in my live stream. Really appreciate that. So thank you for the support. So yeah, so thank you guys and God bless. See you around. Bye.